Terence Crawford is a name that echoes through boxing history not just for brilliance, but for mastery forged in silence. Not every champion enters the spotlight yearning for applause. Some rise quietly, away from noise, away from fans and critics alike. They rise because they refuse to be dictated by doubt, fear, or expectation. Crawford's journey began in Omaha, Nebraska, not in luxury, not in privilege, but in the reality of hard work and uphill battles. From the moment he started boxing, he carried a mindset shaped by more than talent. He carried purpose. He carried heart. In a sport where strength is visible, Crawford's true power was often invisible. People saw his clean record, his undisputed streak, but very few understood the inner storms he navigated long before stepping into the ring. Every champion has a storm. Some collapse under its pressure. Some find shelter. Crawford became the storm. He didn't just fight opponents, he fought limitations, assumptions, expectations, and the voices that told him he couldn't. He accepted challenges across weight classes, not to chase glory, but to prove his own potential. From lightweight to super middleweight, division by division, he climbed, evolved, and conquered. Few fighters in history have been as versatile and unstoppable. He became the first male boxer in the modern era to be undisputed world champion in 3 different weight classes, unbeaten, unmatched, undefeated. But the story isn't just about titles. It's about the silence before every storm, about the countless hours spent in the gym while the world slept, about waking up with doubt in your mind, yet choosing discipline anyway, about returning stronger than you were yesterday. Silence often hides the truth. Effort, sacrifice, resilience, focus. And Crawford understood this better than most. He didn't need to shout his greatness. He demonstrated it one disciplined decision at a time. Many fighters can hit hard. Few can. Think hard. And the true danger in Crawford was never the punch. It was the calm patience behind it. The way he watched opponents crumble under their own noise while he stayed focused, centered, unshaken. In the ring, the world saw a master, a strategist, a technician, a warrior whose quiet presence spoke louder than any crowd. But outside the ring, the climb was no easier. Challenges hit hard. Mistakes threatened confidence. Life tested his resolve again and again. Yet every setback became a lesson. Every doubt fueled determination. Every pause in the journey sharpened his mind. Because growth isn't linear. Greatness never is. Champions are shaped not by comfort, but by adversity. Not by applause, but by persistence. Not by success, but by overcoming failure. And in every meaningful measure of greatness, Terence Crawford stands tall. Not because the road was easy, but because he learned to find strength in the silence before the storm. He climbed every weight class with purpose. He silenced doubters with precision. He walked into history unafraid of the storm waiting outside. And that is the kind of mindset that transcends sport, the warrior spirit of a man who became more than a champion, but a symbol of endurance, evolution, and relentless discipline. The greatness of Terence Crawford did not come from talent alone. It came from how he handled pressure, the kind of pressure that breaks most people long before they ever reach success. Pressure reveals truth. Pressure exposes doubt. Pressure unmasks everyone who pretends to be ready. And Crawford learned early that you cannot run from it. You must face it. You must understand it. You must grow inside it. Many fighters rely on power. Others rely on speed. But Crawford learned to rely on something deeper: control under fire. He mastered the one skill that separates legends from contenders, the ability to stay calm when everything around you demands panic. Inside the ring, he is unbothered. He watches, measures, calculates. He takes away every strength his opponent has. He turns their confidence into hesitation, and he turns their hesitation into defeat. That is why people call him one of the most complete fighters of this generation. Not just undefeated, but untouched in many of the moments when lesser fighters would fall apart. But what people often forget is that control isn't something you're born with. It is something you build through adversity. Crawford grew up fighting battles long before he put on gloves. His environment was not comfortable. His opportunities were not guaranteed, and his success was never handed to him. He built himself through challenge, through hardship, through moments that could have ended everything, but instead awakened something powerful inside him. Because some people break when life hits them. Others discover who they truly are. Crawford discovered a fighter within, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Being great is one thing, staying great is another. And Crawford didn't just win, he improved with every victory. He never stopped sharpening his craft. He never grew comfortable. He never lost the hunger that built him. This is the mindset that separates him from the rest. The belief that success is not a finish line, but a responsibility. When he dominated one division, he moved up. When he conquered another, he moved again. Not for fame, but for growth, for evolution, for the challenge of facing uncertainty. Champions are not afraid of new mountains. They climb them to test their limits. They climb them because winning at the same level becomes too easy. And Crawford wanted the discomfort that forces transformation. Pressure does not scare him. He thrives in it. He looks calm not because the moment is small, but because he has survived moments far greater. It's why he switches stance mid-fight like it's nothing. It's why he breaks down elite opponents as if they're puzzles. It's why he finishes fights with a surgeon's precision, not a brawler's chaos. Every movement is intentional. Every decision is calculated. Every reaction is sharpened through years of struggle. This is what people miss when they try to understand his greatness. They focus on the highlight reels, the knockouts, the belts, the undefeated record. But the truth is deeper. Crawford mastered himself before he mastered the sport. That is why he's different. That is why he wins. That is why even the toughest fighters crumble when they stand across from him. Because they are fighting a man who has already beaten the one opponent most people run from their entire lives, their own fear. And once you conquer that, there is no ceiling. There is no limit. There is no opponent big enough to break you. Crawford teaches us this one powerful lesson. Discipline turns pressure into precision, and pressure turns ordinary people into champions. Whether you're fighting in a ring in life, in business, or in your own mind, victory belongs to those who stay calm when the world tries to shake them. And that is why Terence Crawford stands today not only as an undefeated boxer, but as a symbol of what happens when a person refuses to let fear decide their future. He became a storm, but a controlled one. A storm with purpose, a storm with direction, the kind of storm that does not destroy, but builds a legacy. Greatness often looks loud from the outside, crowds cheering, belts shining, cameras capturing every moment. But for Terence Crawford, greatness was never about noise. It was about the quiet places where true transformation happens, in discipline, in repetition, in self-belief, when no one is watching. He didn't rise because he had more resources. Because he didn't rise because he was chosen. He didn't rise because the world believed in him. He rose because he believed in himself first. And that is the part of his story most people overlook. They see the dominance. They see the finishes. They see the undefeated record. But they don't see the nights when quitting would have been easier, the moments when doubt tried to speak louder than ambition, or the sacrifices made far away from the spotlight. Crawford built his career like a craftsman, piece by piece, detail by detail, slowly shaping himself into something extraordinary. He learned that talent gives you a start, but discipline lets you finish. He learned that pressure can either break you or refine you, depending on the strength of your mindset. And he learned that champions are not born in victory, but in the choices they make when they feel alone. Because make no mistake, Crawford's journey was not crowded with supporters. He did not come from a place where the world expected greatness. He grew from a place where survival was an achievement in itself. Maybe that's why he fights with such composure. He knows what real chaos feels like. He knows what fear tastes like. He knows what it means to stand on the edge and decide not to fall. So when he steps into a ring, There is no panic, no shaking, no insecurity. Just purpose, just preparation. Just a man who already won the battle inside himself long before the bell ever rang. And this is what makes Terence Crawford inspiring not only for fighters, but for anyone facing struggles of their own. We all carry storms inside us. Storms of doubt, storms of failure, storms of pressure and expectations. But Crawford shows us that storms are not obstacles. They are opportunities to build a stronger version of ourselves. He shows that silence can be powerful, that composure can be deadly, that a calm mind can dismantle any challenge in its path. And he shows us that you don't need to shout your dreams for them to become real. You simply need to work. Relentlessly, quietly, consistently. Dreams grow in the dark before they shine in the light. Crawford mastered that process. He mastered the art of staying patient in a world that rushes. He mastered the art of discipline in a world that craves shortcuts. He mastered the art of self-belief in a world quick to doubt. And because of that, he stands today not just as a champion, not just as one of the greatest boxers of his era, but as a symbol of what it means to build greatness from within. His journey gives us a simple truth. You don't need to be born extraordinary. You need to endure. You need to adapt. You need to believe in the quiet strength inside you, the strength that waits for its moment to rise. As the story of Terence Crawford shows, the world may try to overlook you, underestimate you, ignore your potential. But storms don't ask for permission to arrive, and neither do champions. Crawford didn't need approval. He didn't need recognition. He didn't need applause. He needed only one thing: the courage to keep going, the courage to rise again and again and again, until the silence before the storm became the storm itself.